Good day, you guys. Greetings. Happy Moon Day, aka Happy Monday. I hope everybody's doing well whenever you're watching this. So, you may not be watching it at the time that, or the day that I'm recording this. So, I just, for my own peace, my own sanity, and just honoring myself and just transparency. Um, I have a few things that I would like to address, okay? So, hey sis, good morning. Hey Gabby, good day. So, yeah, I have some things that I would like to address, like I said, for my own peace, my own sanity, my own just honoring of myself and transparency, okay? So, and this isn't personal towards anyone else or to be taken personally, okay? So, yeah. Hey. Oh, I forgot you're in a different part of the world. So, good day to you. Thank you, sis. Um, yeah, so I just want to say this as a I don't want to have to make a disclaimer out of every video that I post on my channel. You guys know that we evolve, we change our, the way that we relate to certain things change, they shift, they don't always stay the same. There's moments where we'll resonate with each other, and there's moments where we will not resonate. There's moments where we'll agree with each other, and there's moments where we won't disagree. There's no right or wrong in this per se. But with all due respect, you guys, on my channel, I've I've had to accept the fact that my delivery sometimes can come across to some people as honorary, can come across as maybe a bit crass, maybe a bit, as if I'm coming from a prideful, egotistical place, or maybe a bit harsh. And I check myself before I come on these readings, and I check myself before I speak. A lot of times I recognize that I hold myself back because I don't want to offend anyone, which is fair, but to an extent where I gaslight myself into not saying things because I know that if I do say things, it may trigger people. So my intentions are not to offend people. It's not to say that I'm not subject to be corrected or subject to slip up and maybe say things that are not in order. But I check myself every time. I question myself, should I say this before it comes out of my mouth? I sit with myself, is this something that I should even share? Should I post this? Should I even go live, for the matter of fact? Because I'm very careful with what I say. That's just how I am. Like, I have to think and feel things through a filter of being mindful of how I utilize my words and how I utilize this platform, right? So, with that being said, like, sometimes I understand that what I say, it is not going to resonate with people in a sense of the topics and messages or the subject matter of some of my videos are not something that is mainstream, to in the tarot community specifically. That my delivery or the way that I do my readings, like my style of readings, are not something that's traditional. It's not mainstream. So a lot of people are not going to understand it. They're not going to vibe with it. They may even have conflicts with it too. Especially if it's something that you've never heard before or heard it in that manner, it will come across as foreign to you. And it may not be easily as digestible as I may think it is. And I understand that we're all at different parts of our journey. We all have a different level of comprehending things. We also have, we're at different frequencies. So certain things may not make sense. So I try to keep that in mind, but at the same time, I also have to honor what spirit guides me to do and honor my voice. So when I say things, like I said, I feel like people might take it as me trying to offend. Like if you're easily offended, I can't control that. I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. If someone is easily offended by the words that I say, um, I can't help that. Easily triggered or just triggered, period. Triggers oftentimes are things, that we just need to check within. Like, why is that bothering me? Why does this bother me? Um, but I understand that when I say things, especially when I like speak, the conviction in my voice and my nonsense delivery at times will ruffle people a little bit. And I get that. So I'm going to give everybody the grace and the opportunity to, you know, go where they resonate. You know what I mean? Like I'm okay with losing subscribers. I've been losing subscribers since 2020 based off of, certain things that I've, decided to do with my channel and not do with my channel. So I'm not here for likes and approval. I'm just here to connect and interact with people, to deliver a message. If it applies to, it applies. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not for you. I'm here to help encourage people, here to help people through their process of healing, awaken them, or at least help them to be aware of themselves in a way maybe where, it will spark some type of shift in them on the path that they're meant to go in. I'm just here to assist. I'm not here to gain approval. So losing subscribers, it's not much. So with that being said, I want to be free to express myself and authentically as much as possible as I can. I can't put myself in a box, and I've said this multiple times on my channel, but it is something that has weighed heavy on me for a long, long time, where I feel like I have to water myself down sometimes, or I catch myself too much, like, oh no, don't do that, don't say that, oh no, I can't do that. I can't. Um, Unfortunately and fortunately, my type of style of readings and things like that is, it's not the conventional, it's not the mainstream style of things, so it's not going to appease every ear that hears it, because it doesn't sound like everybody else. You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like what's acceptable or pleasable, like, or please, whatever, however you want to word it, to everyone's ears. But I can't water myself. I can't do that. You know what I mean? So everyone's free to go wherever they want to go, unsubscribe. That's fine. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I feel like there's times where I'll be like, I'll speak with conviction. I'll speak with full on confidence of what I'm saying and what spirit is guiding me to say. And then there's times where I'll gatekeep it and guard it out of the fear of offending people, and I can't do that. That's not fair. It's not fair to me, and that's not fair to anyone else that may actually really need to hear it as it is, because we can sometimes we might have to take a step back from certain things that we're not ready to hear, because it might not be something that we're ready to accept, or we're not ready to tackle, we're not ready to confront, and it can upset you, it can upset your ego, or it can upset your spirit in a sense, like, yeah, this is something that I'm not happy with, this is something I'm not comfortable with, I don't want to deal with it, and that's fine. You got to take your time with yourself, but it would be a disservice and dishonor to myself and for those that may benefit from some of the things that I'm saying, to be like, okay, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to make people upset, or, it is what it is. I don't want to hold on to anybody that does not resonate with me or does not benefit from any of the messages in a positive way, I don't want to hold you here. I don't want to keep you. You know what I mean? Um, I don't want the majority, only of those that are meant to, resonate and vibe, like we vibe with each other. And I understand that sometimes we outgrow certain, situations or people or messengers. And then there's times where we just find that it's not for us, or some people are not ready to hear it. I can't do anything about that. You know what I mean? So, in order to be me and to be free to express myself authentically, because some of the topics and things that I'm going to touch on, they're not things that people probably want to hear in the I wouldn't say the spiritual community, but like tarot readings and all of that. And I'm not just a tarot reader. Like I know how to read tarot, obviously, right? I utilize it as a tool, but it's not something that I just use as a complete crutch or the only thing that I'm utilized for. You know what I'm saying? You understand? So my channel and all of that, it's uniquely its own as everybody else's channel is, and I don't want to be held to a specific standard of doing everything like what is mainstream in the tarot community, because that's not me. I can't do that. That's not authentic to me. For me personally, like that's not how I operate. I can't do it. It makes me feel like a prisoner, to be honest, when I try to do that. I'm not going to code switch to fit anybody. I can't do it. You know what I mean? That's why I quit, like the jobs that I was doing before I even got on YouTube. It doesn't resonate with me. So respectfully, like we should all go where we resonate. One thing I'm not going to do is water everybody down, and I have to water myself down for everybody. And one thing that I have to say is, if you're coming on here expecting me to be like the next reader or how everybody else does it and just stick to the script, just pull the cards and just read it and tell me this, tell me that, or it should be this, you shouldn't say anything else, you shouldn't speak outside of it. I can't do that. I'm a messenger first. I'm not a tarot reader per se. I wouldn't equate myself as just a tarot reader. So, and I'm here to heal too. So, in order to heal, we do unfortunately sometimes tap into things that are a little bit touchy. You know what I mean? Or that could be calling things out. I can't simplify, what I do. And I don't live for the people. I don't do this for you guys in a sense of I do everything you want me to do. Does that make sense? Like I do this for you guys out of love and service of what Divine Spirit is instructing me to do. But at the same time, I'm not doing it to appease you. Does that make sense? Like I have love for each and every person that is here, even those that don't like me. Because I understand that sometimes people can resonate with my messages and not like me. Or people could like me or love me, but maybe not resonate with my messages. And that's fine. The only thing that I feel like that separates some readers from others is the fact that they truly are messengers of God. Truly. Versus just coming on here for a bag or for a check or for likes and views, subscribers, for a YouTube plaque or whatever, or they don't want to say anything because they don't want to become a target of the YouTube community, because some viewers, they get in their feelings and they're very disrespectful in people's comment sections, or they're slandering their names and stuff on YouTube or on forums and all of that. But you have to, in my opinion, so this is my opinion, if you're really about that life, you can't try to appease everybody, because that's impossible. It's impossible to please everybody. Us as humans, we're not easily satisfied with things. Our temperature, our taste buds, our senses, whatever, our desires, our likes, our dislikes, they change. Especially like as you grow older and as you grow wiser or as you mature, the things that you once resonated with are not going to resonate with you anymore. Things that you desire does not. Right. Yeah. Gabby, you get it. Tori, you have a channel too. When you come on YouTube when you're called to, right? So, like, because I used to do this to myself. I used to burn myself out, and sometimes I used to be able to, like, bust out a whole bunch of readings and pick a cards because I had the free time to do so and I enjoyed it. But then there's a burnout and there's a time where you naturally have to retreat and just take a break. So the pressure of being a content creator, if that's what your aim is, as a tarot reader, like pushing out content every day is to feed the masses. But at the same time, if it's genuine messages, you're not always going to have a message. Sometimes you'll go days, weeks, maybe months, some people maybe years without receiving an unction to get on and deliver a message, right? So sometimes you may not always have something to deliver, or you may not feel guided to sit down and do a reading. Maybe your energy is depleted, or maybe spirit is like, no, maybe some of your subscribers do need to take a break from you, or take a break from YouTube alone, or take a break from readings. You know what I mean? Like, you got to honor your spirit. And I don't want to hold anybody to my channel under the false narrative of this is just how Chinoa is going to be all the time, because I don't know. That's the thing of the journey itself, is the fact that we're constantly evolving and the journey can switch up. Like, for y'all that's been here since the beginning, my ass was doing twin flame readings. Like, that's what I resonated at the time. That's where I was within my journey. You know what I mean? And the people that are meant to help at that time, those that were drawn to my channel at that time, maybe they got what they needed out of it. Maybe they've evolved outside of that twin flame situation with me, and it progressed into other things in their life or wherever they're at now, right? Or maybe they're still in the whole twin flame thing. I don't know. At one point, I said I wasn't using the cards anymore because that's what I was instructed to do, not use the cards. But, yeah. I just wanted to address that, you guys, and just simply just express, let people know, like, hey, like, when you come on this channel, like, I have to be raw and uncut as I am. Like, not to get too personal, but when I was a little girl, I had I don't want to say who it is. I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but a family member, a woman, like a mother figure of mine, that would, to me, to my siblings and to my cousins, like, she would, when we were in her care, she would say things that were degrading to us. She would, call us stupid, and she would yell, raise her voice. She would hit the table or hit the counter when she would, like, help us with our homework. And she was kind of abusive verbally and mentally and emotionally. And whenever we would, try to speak up for ourselves, she would tell us to shut up, or she would tell us that stop lying. Even though we weren't lying, we would just be simply trying to explain ourselves or tell her that no, we didn't do it, or and she would yell at us, right? So that fear was kind of instilled in me not to speak up. And I noticed that it manifested in other situations with people where I didn't have boundaries. I didn't know how to say no. I feared saying no, or I feared saying yes to certain things, right? So the more and more, like, me starting my YouTube channel, that took almost everything in me to do it, because I'm not comfortable. Well, I'm more comfortable, I should say, speaking publicly, or coming on YouTube, or coming on a live even, and even showing my face took a lot for me to do that, because I didn't feel comfortable with my voice growing up. And even in adulthood, it took me years and years to say yes and say no to things and really mean it and have boundaries for myself. When I started my YouTube channel, I used to like, not every person that I've read for, obviously, but I've had a few instances where people have been very disrespectful and kind of took my kindness as a weakness. And, that was my lack of boundaries. So coming on here and over the years, healing and healing, the more and more I speak, the more and more I honor that voice and say what it is and mean it when you say it with conviction, the more and more it heals me to break free of those shackles of not speaking up. And you either sink or you swim, especially as a tarot reader on here. You have tarot readers on here that do speak truth, that will, be no nonsense. They don't sugarcoat. Then you have some that will kind of keep it cute, keep it mainstream, keep it watered down because they don't want to lose subscribers. They don't want to leave a bad taste in people's mouth about them. They care about the opinions of others. Some might say, well, that's wise because of, if you're taking this as a business or whatever. I understand that. You do have to be very mindful of what comes out of your mouth. You do. And you still have to be respectful. So there's a boundary with that, but there's a fine line between selling out and selling your soul in a sense because you want to be liked or because you don't want to lose subscribers or because you want people to like you, but you're not being fully authentic. So that is kind of the catch-22. You either take the risk or the chance of doing something different and just being you, or you can try to fit the mold of what a tarot reader is and try to be popular, and that's just not gonna work. So, hey Ro, good morning. Hey honey. Analytical art friend. Hey sis Tori. But yeah, and Tori, she actually helped me kind of like get this into perspective. She said, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tori, but you said something along the lines of when you were, had that change in your channel and you noticed that your subscriber count started to kind of like, drop a bit. And you said something along the lines of you want to be free to be your authentic self on your channel. So anybody that doesn't resonate with you, you're okay if they drop off. You're fine with that, And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm okay. Like, it used to bother me. It did. Like, I would think I was doing something wrong. And then there's another part of me that knew that, no, like, some of the things that you're doing is not going to resonate with everybody. I understand that. And then on top of that, it is kind of a shift from what I've been doing too, or what some people may have been used to me doing. Some people may think that, okay, I thought this was a pick a card channel. Like, she ain't doing no pick a cards this week. Like, some people are addicted to that. That's okay. Or they don't like the way that I say things. They don't, you know what I mean? And that's okay. But I can't stop being me. If I'm not, and listen, like, this is just a side note. Some of these tarot readers out here, I hear be cussing y'all out and shit. I be hearing that some of them be like calling y'all bitches and excuse my language, but like talking crazy to their subscribers and y'all still tune in faithfully. Like hundreds and thousands of views these people get. Y'all still like that. So it's the toxicity for me. I think that you guys, not you guys specifically, but like the collective, like some of these viewers, they like the messiness of it. They like the entertainment of tarot. They don't necessarily in the sugarcoating and the comfortability of tarot, or what they perceive spirituality to be, the mainstream the marketing of what spirituality is supposed to look like, where it's just all chakras and about indigo children and star seeds and all. Like, they like that specific angle of what spirituality is. So anything outside of that is not entertaining. I don't look at tarot as, I don't like the Ouija board. Tarot is a spiritual tool. Pendulums are spiritual tools. Like anything where you're using it as a spiritual medium, it's not just some entertainment. It's not just a toy. It's not a game. So like when you're tapping into the tarot, you're telling a spiritual, you're telling a story. Like you're tapping into a realm and you're illustrating a story for the person you're reading for. So whether you are tapping into the realm of truth or you're tapping into the realm of illusions or you're creating your own scenario, like it's a spiritual tool, so you can do with it as you will. It depends on the person that's handling that spiritual tool, right? Just like a spiritual, like a magic wand, it does what you intend it to do, right? So if you're coming on and you just want to keep it squeaky clean, and the cards don't lie. So even when you intend to be like, okay, I just want it to be squeaky clean, the tarot is going to speak what it wants to speak, but how you interpret it, that's up to you, right? So, yeah. I feel like that I feel like spirituality is really a personal experience. It's subjective. Everybody has their own perspective of it. But when you try to put it in a box, and I have to use that word mainstream because the word mainstream is actually, I wouldn't say profound. It's not profound, but it actually sums up, like, not everybody's going to fit into the mold of the mainstream uh, aspect of tarot and what it's become, what it's marketed as, what it's painted to be, which is mainstream is something that's regarded as something normal or conventional, the popular opinion or trend, right? It fits into what's popular. So if you hear anything outside of that, or it's your first time hearing something like this, or the approach to the tarot is a little bit different, my approach to tarot is more from a perspective of healing, diving deep into yourself, or as deep as I'm allowed to go with you, right? Because we should be going deeper with ourselves in our own personal time, but with another person, they're going to go as deep as they're allowed to go with you, or as deep as you allow them to go with you, right? When you do the spiritual work. And I look at tarot as like a medium, a bridge between the spirit room and the person that's reading the cards and the people that are experiencing the reading or getting the message. Not solely from a place of predictive reading and fortune telling and, what's the weather going to be like today? Am I going to hear back from homeboy today? Is he going to text me? Is he going to call me? Is he going to leave his girlfriend for me? That type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, who's hating on me type shit. Like, it goes far deeper than that. And it also depends on like the reader itself, where they're at within their conscious level, how deep are they willing to go. So, but this isn't to shame anybody. It's not to shame ourselves or anything like that. But I feel like it needed to, certain things need to be called out as they are. It is what it is. Some people might say, no, you're wrong for that. Tarot is not meant to be for healing, or tarot is not meant to, talk about spiritual, like God. But if we spiritual, let's talk about it. Like, y'all say y'all spiritual, let's talk about it, okay? Where's the spiritual work? People don't want to talk about spiritual warfare either. Like, how are you spiritual, but you don't understand spiritual warfare? You don't believe that there's that, but you talk about the dark forces, low vibrations. Those low vibrations you're talking about, that's the opposing energy. So it's not negative to talk about it. It's just reality. It is what it is. We're calling the thing what it is. Just as we have high vibrations, as we all know, there's low vibrations or dark energies, dark forces. So to think that there's no such thing as spiritual warfare is a little, it's a little, ooh, no, this is me being a little asshole. I'm not gonna say that, but you're being in denial and you're choosing not to be honest about it because it doesn't fit the narrative of the mainstream. Uh, and no disrespect to Dorian Virtue, but some of her energy, like that type of spirituality where it's all light and fluffy and stuff like that. Like you guys seen those memes where it's like when you don't like what you hear in the tarot, so you get a Dorian Virtue deck out, kind of something like that. Where you pull the angel deck out, the ones with the bunny rabbits in it and the angels with the rainbows and the little cute phrases at the bottom. The devil card is not called the devil, it's called, I can't remember what it's called, oppression or something. It's something crazy, I don't remember. The death card is transformation, which that's really what it means. And I know that when people see that card or that word, actually those two specific cards, the devil and the death card, are triggering to see. Like if you don't understand the tarot, it's like, oh no, I don't want to pull that, because that's what the movie show is. The movie shows us that those cards are like, doom and gloom, because that's what the shows and stuff, they like show you like tarot from a tool of fortune telling, like, you know what I mean. So we kind of have this idea of what spirituality is, and it's performative. It's not raw and authentic to everyone. Some people, it's this performative Disney aspect of it. And there's, racism too. Like, y'all don't want me to talk about it. See, this is where I be like wanting to shut up sometimes. I want to shut up sometimes because I'm like, no, this is going to ruffle somebody's feathers, but I have to call it out. Like, there's so much racism in the spiritual community too, where you guys talk about oneness and we're all human and this fake hippie stuff, but then you try to gatekeep certain things because people are black or because they don't look like what spirituality looks like, or they don't have, they don't have the look. So you gatekeep it. Y'all like it. I'm not saying y'all specifically, but like collective, some people in the collective like it packaged in a certain way. I call it the Target spirituality, Target, like that type of spirituality. It's not always crystals. It's not always about the chakras and the deities and the I'm an indigo child and I'm a all these things, right? It's so much deeper. The experience and how you relate to these things is it goes beyond that. It goes beyond the titles and the labels and the all of this stuff that we label it to be here. You know what I mean? So spirituality is, it's really an experience. It's an experience. That's really all it is. A journey through the soul. That's all it is. These tools and all of that are part of it, but don't make no mistake. Like, you are the most powerful tool out of the crystals, out of the books, out of your astrology chart, which it is an aspect of your soul, right? I mean, it tells it, it's an illustration of who you are, right? You're more than the tarot. You're more than your dreadlocks and your afros and your fancy evil eye necklaces. It's deeper than that. You are the most powerful tool. Like the Florida water and all of that. Like you are all of those things. You're the incense, you the table, you the candle. You're all of those things. And much, much, much more than that, of course. And even more so, you are the messenger. Like, even if you don't know how to divine with cards or crystals or oracle cards or whatever your form of like Even if you're not someone that does divination or whatever that, whatever that means to you, you still have access to every answer you seek. It may not come immediately. It may not come in the form of what you're used to or what you're seeking specifically or in the time manner that you want it to. But every door you knock, there's something on the other side. Knocking the door shall be open. Asking you shall receive. The Akashic Records is not something like this physical thing. It's actually just an imprint of your DNA, your experiences. That's it. You have access to that at any time. It's like the High Priestess card. She's the keeper of the secrets, but she's not really keeping a secret because the book, the Torah, the scroll, she's holding it right in front of you. So there's nothing that's actually, it's just there in plain sight, but it's available to you when you're ready. Just ask. The High Priestess can also represent an initiation to the other side. But you show up when you're ready. This is a long video. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm not going to sit here on this good Monday morning and have y'all sitting up in here with an hour-long something video. Like, I'm not going to do that this fine morning with y'all. I'm not going to waste y'all time. But no, whenever you guys, have the time, if you feel led to listen to all of this. But I really just thought I was going to come on here real quick and say that if you ain't vibing, it's okay if you unsubscribing. Pretty much. Like, it's fine. Because I want people, like, because sometimes too, like, I be thinking, oh, I did something wrong. And what did I say? But sometimes it's just, you got to make space. Like, and sometimes it is going to be a little ashy, when you are at a different point in your life and you have to eliminate certain things, or certain things leave your life, or certain people leave your life, or you have to, cut people out of your life or remove yourself. It might be a little ashy at times. You might be a little friendless for a minute, or you might only have a few friends in your life, and that's okay. You want what's for you. You want people that genuinely love you to be around you. And I only want, and I don't look at subscribers as spectacles or just some numbers, or just an audience per se. I view them as people that I'm connecting with spiritually. Like, spirit is placing me in their life for a reason, and I'm being in a position where they're being placed in my life for a reason. Like, we're all connecting for a reason, even if I never have an interaction with y'all on a physical level. And I'm not talking about like singling anyone out, like you're special. Like, I don't want that, because some people be misconstruing people's words, and I don't want to feed into that. But as a collective, like, everyone comes into each other's life for a reason, whether it's for a lifetime or a season, whether it's to teach you a lesson, or whether it's to help edify and grow one another. Whether you're a blessing or you're I don't even want to say a curse. I don't want to use that word. Some people do come into your life to be the antagonist, but to help the protagonist in you to grow and to break through, right? So every adversary we have in our life, they're actually there to motivate and encourage you and to strengthen you where you're weak, where you're unlearned, where you're inexperienced, right? So the subscriber count to me is, I would like to think, and I hope to attract, and for people to attract to me, like, we're attracted to each other energetically, in a sense of getting what you need in a divine sense. That's it. To encourage, to motivate, to help break free, to break the shackles, the chains over your entire being, or to at least help with that. If not, be that, because I'm not going to put that responsibility on myself, but to at least be a help to you on your journey somehow. If I don't give you majority of the clarity you need, may you find it somewhere else, and most importantly, find it within yourself and with God. But any ounce of help, cool. But if you don't vibe with it, I don't want that. Like, go where you vibe, where you resonate, because I want to be free to express myself, like express my spiritual being and me and my gifts authentically as they were given to me, not watered down, not policed, or you know what I mean? Because I don't know about y'all, but that Libra full moon, like, she was like, bitch, you gonna balance out this energy and you gonna speak. Enough of that biting your tongue and trying to like hide in the back. Like, that's not me. I didn't know how to speak my truth back then. Some of my wounding and childhood trauma was still keeping me kind of enslaved in that fear of speaking my truth or making people around me upset. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't speak. None of us would be ourselves if we didn't express ourselves authentically. The power is in the tongue, but it's also, we got to not water ourselves down, but know how to be mature in our speaking, meaning, we're wise, we're careful with what we say to not hurt or harm or offend. Like, we're not using our tongue loosely, but we think before we speak, or we know the time and the place to speak. We know that we can't cast our pearls amongst swine, meaning there's some people that are not in the place to receive what you have to say sometimes, or they may not be interested in it at the time, or maybe it's not meant for them at all. So you have to be okay with that. Not everybody's going to like you, and as adults we hear that all the time, but like, for me, I've had to like constantly remind myself of that. Not everybody's going to like you. You don't like everybody. You know what I mean? For good reason. I don't like people. I don't just be like, oh, I don't like them. Oh, because I disagree with you, I don't like you. Like, that's childish. If I don't like you, it's because you an evil motherfucker, or you did something to me that I ain't forgot. You know what I mean? But no. So it's just common sense. Not everybody's going to like you, nor resonate with you, or agree. And I don't like being argumentative either. I don't like discord. So if somebody doesn't fuck with me, like, just keep it moving. I don't need to hear how you don't like me. I don't need to hear that. Like, it doesn't make sense. What's your point? Like, keep it moving. People, like, you would think people would stay away from things they don't like. You know what I mean? Like, you don't like something or somebody, and a lot of times people don't even know why they don't like somebody. They don't even try to discern it and go into it and really feel through it, but they'll project. Be like, it's just something about him. I don't like her. Something off with her. I just don't. Well, what is it? Like, something off with their energy. Like, come on now. Sometimes we be reading into stuff too much. We be reading into everything. Like, oh, I don't like how they put the devil emoji next to their picture. They a demon. Like, okay, well, I guess. But yeah, people would stay away from things they don't like. But some people don't like it. It's like a love hate thing. Like, I don't like you, but I'ma still like watch you. I'ma still, pay attention to everything you do. being a monitor spirit, like go somewhere and sit down. Go get a life. That's what I've been wanting to say to some people. Just have at it. Go find something to do with yourself. Go get a coloring book or something. Like, just leave people alone. Like, I don't get it. But yeah, let me get my assets off of here, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't mean to take up too much of y'all time. But yeah, if it doesn't vibe, like I said, if you ain't vibing, unsubscribe. It's okay. It's okay over here. It's okay. No watering down. I might have to put the disclaimer out for a while until my subscriber count is clean of whoever, is not meant to be, so that I can make space for whoever, even if that's like I'm down to like 100 subscribers. Like, that's a little dramatic, but shit, you never know nowadays. Nothing's guaranteed on social media, for real. This stuff is just, it's really lightweight when we think about it, but because we put so much stock on people's, gaining the approval of the world, even if it's people you don't really even care for or even care to know or don't really even like you, but as long as you got them numbers though, you got them views though, you somebody. But I digress. Anywho, we gonna walk into this fine Monday morning, Monday evening, if it's you settling down. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to share this. I wanted to share like this little remedy, not little remedy, but kind of like, I don't know if it's like a cleansing thing, like spirit. I'm gonna do it because I kind of semi do it, but I don't always incorporate the music. But because Mondays for me are like cleansing days, because the moon, it's really moon day. Actually, that's where they get Monday from. It's really moon day. So moon days are typically for cleansing, for reflecting, kind of like an intuitive day. And it sucks that typically in society that's the working day, like the first day of the week, when it should be, actually, to me, in my opinion, should also follow up with Sunday as a resting day. Like Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, I feel like should be resting days. And I feel like Tuesday should be the first day of the working week. In my opinion, that's just me. Um, but yeah, Monday is for reflecting, for like your emotional energy, intuitive energy, and cleansing. So Spirit was like encouraging me to take a bath. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight or this morning, because I don't like taking baths during the first day, like like it doesn't make sense to do that. I like taking baths at night before I go to bed. But if you do take a bath, like you could put like your cleansing stuff in there, like your salt, like your salts or Himalayan salt, sea salt, or whatever else you use, like, or maybe essential oils or something, or bath salts, and then kind of have low light if you can. Like sometimes if I don't have any candles, I'll get one of my Himalayan salt lamps and put them in the bathroom with me, or some type of like, I like those lights. I love color lights, like especially if it's dim, like, or you could sit in the dark, but I don't think that's entirely safe to do. But if you can get candles in a safe space, of course, where they're not gonna, catch a flame, and then turn on some type of high frequency music. From like the research that I've done on sound and stuff like that, where I had to study it, Mozart came up as like one of the top therapeutic sound, like musicians of sound. Like pregnant women would listen to Mozart, and they said with studies, pregnant women that listened to him, their babies actually had high IQs. But high frequency music with water, Spirit is saying, is very powerful. And another thing Spirit was saying too is to speak to your water, whether you speak to it before you get in it or as you're in it. But I think it's far more powerful when you're actually in the body of water and you're affirming whatever it is that you're affirming over yourself. So it could be anything, whatever your intentions are, whether it's to purify yourself, cleanse yourself, whether it's to speak positive things over yourself. And it makes me think of that water experiment. And I had to learn this as well. I had to study when I was doing my sound healing certificate. I had to learn about certain different like frequencies, but also like techniques, different sound healing techniques. And one of them was from Dr. I think his name is Dr. Moto. He was a Japanese, uh, he was a doctor, and he did an experiment with water. And I forgot what you call it. I think it's cymatics. Cymatics. Cymatics, I think it's called. I could be spelling it wrong because I'm like all over the place. But he did a water experiment where he would have different types of water, and he would speak to the water. So he would either speak positive things. It was like specific phrases that he would speak over the water. And he would say things like, you're a bad person or something over the water. And then they would kind of experiment it over days, and then you would see the difference. You would see the significant difference in the water, which was so like dope. So anywho, so your body is made up of water. So anytime you're sitting within water, it's going to do that, those effects. It's going to affect your body. You know what I mean? Like it's going to have those effects on it. And then even more so when you're listening to those high frequency sounds of music, because I've also seen this too, where they did like an experiment with like sand, and they would put it like in a bowl or something, or in like a flat surface rather, and then they would play different frequencies, and they would turn it up, and each of these sands would like form into some type of shapes, like different types of shapes. They almost look like snowflakes. And I think it was the same thing with this doctor. Can't remember his name is Dr. Moto or Dr. Soto. I can't remember what his name is. I'm gonna have to look it up, or you can like look it up real quick. But even with his water experiment, some of them would turn into like pretty like crystalline water, and it would kind of look like snowflakes too. It was so cool. Like it's dope what an amazing, like the universe is crazy. Like it's amazing. But yeah, Spirit was saying like to take this bath, sit with yourself, and like affirm over your water. His name, oh wait, hold on. I just passed by it. Why it go by so quick? It's Emoto. Dr. Emoto, I think it is. Yeah, but yeah, that was his experiment. But yeah, do that with some low light where you're not going to be disturbed or interrupted. You can listen to like sound healing, like high frequency pitches, or you can listen to like some type of classical music as well, like something that resonates with you, where it has that high sound or frequency, and you could just sit within the water and just take it in. I feel like it will be something powerful for you. So yeah. So if it's already nighttime for you and you're able to, sit with yourself, it'll be a good time to do that. And if it's still early in the day, if you have time later tonight to unwind and sit with yourself, yes, indeedy. But yeah, let's leave this where it's at, and I'm gonna get my ass on out of here. But I appreciate y'all for listening and joining, because I know it can be a bit much sometimes. Yeah, take you a bath, sis. Get in that tub and relax. Yep. Yep. Cleanse your energy, and then when you like pull the plug from out of the tub, like see whatever you want to release being released, or just set that intent an impression, whatever, over the, or affirmation intent over the water, that it's whatever is needed to be released and cleansed, purified. All right, y'all. Much love as always. Enjoy the rest of your day, your night, wherever you guys are in the world. And I'll catch you guys soon. Lay low if you can. If you work today, take it easy. Like, don't get riled up and ruffled. That's why I said, like, who created Monday to be the first day of the working week? Because that's high emotions. Like, on a Monday, like, that's why people be so cranky. Like, they're jolted out of their rest, or their, if the weekend is your time of rest, it's like you're jolted back into that space of, like, be that working horse for the day. And it's just like, allow yourself that time to rest and just be, you know. That's why people be mad on the highway, like road raging and shit, and rushing and spilling their coffee and acting crazy. Or the kids are just like, just not wanting to get up. I get it. Like, shit. But anywho, much love as always. Y'all be blessed. Be safe. Take care. Peace.